Adventist World Radio program in Nepal language has also been broadcasting in 11 FM radio stations that cover 50% of the country area. In Nepal, majority are Buddhist. It's quite difficult to accept the truth of the Christianity, but now it is open. Voice of Hope Nepal receives a lot of letters from local and even got a telephone call from outside of Nepal. Adventist World Radio is broadcasting to millions of Hindus in Nepal. And here is one of the testimony from a young lady.
I am 16 years old Lapara Rama from Nepal. I have given my life to my Savior and was baptized on January 25, 2009. I am a regular listener of Adventist World Radio programs. I firstly heard it about 14 months ago. It was the cold season, so every evening Father stayed indoors and listened to hear the news from Gorka FM. When he finished listening and was going to turn off the radio, your voice came on saying it was a Christian program. Immediately, my attention was drawn to the program and I listened intently. The entire family started listening regularly after that evening. I have been a living witness for Jesus and share my faith whenever there is an opportunity in the community around us.
The Adventist World Radio programs of the North Philippine Union Conference broadcast the Morning Watch at DWBL 124 kHz on Monday to Friday from 5 to 5:30 a.m. Tinik Ang Pak Asa at AWR and Tinik Ang Pak Asa at DZRH every Sunday from 9 to 9:30 p.m. Hosted by Pastor Romeo T. Mangiliman. At present, we have 3,000 regular listeners of the program who have signified their regular listening through text messages, phone calls, and letters. God calls people in varied ways. For instance, Georgie Fulgencio had known a little about the Seventh-day Adventist belief only when her sister became an SDA. She didn't show any interest about her sister's new faith until she viewed the 3ABN program. Since then, Georgie searched for her queries on some issues like Sabbath, Second Coming, diet, etc. Somebody referred her to Pastor Romeo Mangiliman, the Communications Director of North Philippine Union Conference and the broadcaster of the radio programs The Morning Watch and The Voice of Hope. Her faith in God and His teaching grew through her listening to radio programs where many topics were being discussed. After a series of Bible study, Georgie decided to accept Jesus as her Savior and Lord on last April 17, 2010. In the last 2 years, we have missed 3 professional producers. They are Pastor Pisilian Sailova, the director of Miso Studio and producers of Miso program, who had served AWR along the last 5 years until he retired in early 2008, and also Kenneth Swansanang, the Myanmar studio director and producer for Burmese, Karen and Chin program, who ended his service in early 2008. And the last but not least was Pastor Lee Kim Young. For about 21 years, had served as the Korean studio director and program producer as well. We have given them all appreciations for their services. According to the plan, by October 2010, the Japanese program will end because of certain reason that has been considered for years by the officers and staff of the communication department, and they prefer to transfer the program through the internet and podcast. For 2009, we received fewer letters, emails, and telephone calls compared with the years of 2008. This is according to the report sent by the studios. And for the first quarter of 2010, we have received 4,570 letters, 543 telephone calls, 3,416 emails, and 4,606 Bible lesson requests. For the years of 2010 to 2012, we plan to add broadcasting 10 new languages, that is in Gujarati and Oriya by AMC India, Kokborok and Meitei by Aishal Studio, Bhutan and Tibetan by Nepal Studio, Papango by North Philippine Studio, Warai-Warai by Central Philippine Studio, Batak by West Indonesia Union Mission Studio, and Iban by Sarawak Studio. Hundreds of letters come from the listeners. Some of the faithful listeners have no time to write letters or send emails. Many of them ask for the Bible lessons. Some of them share their faith even though they are not Christians. God uses radio ministry to reach out to people around the world. Please keep praying for the Adventist World Radio work so that the gospel might be spread out to the whole world faster. And Jesus is coming soon to take us and all the listeners to His home.